If you support a struggling reader and you've asked them to read just once, and then all of a sudden, boom, shutdown, refusal, even after asking just one time, this video is for you. Hello, I'm Rebecca the Reading Hacker, and I'm a neurodivergent former struggling reader, helping others like me crack the code and find confidence in reading. Whether it's your child at home, or a child in your classroom, or a teenager or an adult, asking them to do one task that involves literacy, shuts down, turns into refusal, and just creates chaos. That shutdown often gets labeled as laziness or defiance. But it may not be that. It might be cognitive overload. If this sounds familiar in your classroom or with your child or teen, then this channel is for you. Chunking is a reading hack that can help even the most reluctant struggling reader. Chunking works because it helps control when information hits the brain. In this video, I'm going to share 3 chunking hacks that can actually help to prevent reading refusal and shutdown, especially for older readers. Reading isn't just one skill. It's actually a collection, a bundle of multiple skills, all having to do at the exact same time. When a person reads, their brain has to decode the words, hold those words in working memory, build sentences, find meaning, all at the same time and at a quick pace. Working memory is limited. Research shows that most people can only hold up to 4 things in their brain. And when reading exhausts those 4 things, cognitive overload can happen. From inside, it feels like too much, too fast. That's why chunking is an excellent hack. It actually cuts down how much the brain has to interact with at one time. All right, hack number 1, time-bound chunking. This type of chunking isn't about text at all. It's about time. So here's the key. Predictability helps to lower anxiety even before the task starts. This is one of the things I use with my clients when I'm helping with reading, especially reluctant readers that I work with. Many times, struggling readers refuse to read, not because the text is too hard, but because the effort will last so long and they don't know what the end point will be. So instead of saying, okay, read this whole page, what we try to do is, okay, read this for 90 seconds, or start shorter. Read this for 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Read this for a minute. You can actually start small and then start adding on increments. Using a timer can be very helpful. Now, for some, it works very well. So you'll get any kind of timer. I have a Star Wars timer of R2-D2. It's like an egg timer for one of my clients because they really particularly like that. But you don't have to get anything fancy. You can just get one of those little egg timers that you can get on Amazon. Timers are great, especially for those who are neurodivergent, ADHD, dyslexia, those with autism, because there's something called time blindness, and it's real. Believe me, I experience it regularly. Those who are neurodivergent can't accurately feel sometimes how long something takes. So something might take forever that is just a few minutes, or time might go really quickly or fast. Without a clear time boundary, reading can feel endless, especially if you don't like doing it. And think about that. If there's something you don't enjoy doing, sometimes it feels like it takes forever. A timer makes a reading task containable and survivable. When we stop before frustration shows up, meaning stays intact. And kids are a lot more likely to do the task again, as long as they know that there is a set amount of time and they don't have to go on beyond that. If this is clicking for you right now, this is just the kind of breakdown I share on this channel. So please make sure you hit like and subscribe down below so you can stay caught up on all the breakdowns and hacks that I share. Chunking hack number 2, read with clarity. Once stamina is protected, the next question is, what is the brain supposed to focus on? Giving clarity to reading tasks, especially to those who do not enjoy reading, can be amazing. Remember, when we tell students just to read, they start to do everything at once. Decode, find meaning, make connections, all of the steps that it takes when we have to break down and read. That can be extremely overwhelming. So instead, we give the brain one clear job, like a beacon. An X marks the spot. It can be anything from read this part to find out what happens, or tell me what the problem is in this paragraph. Read to find who's involved. It can even get a little more sophisticated with find me the evidence to your claim here. If you have an opinion, find me the part that's going to prove you are correct. That can sometimes get somebody on board. We tell the brain what to look for before it has to hold all those other steps. And just to give you guys a little bit of information, all right, there was a gentleman named Dr. John Hattie, and he put together a list of all these different strategies and the effect size and how effective all of them were. Clarity, especially teacher clarity, and if you're working with a homeschooling student, parent clarity, gives a 0.75 effect size. Now, to give you a little bit of information here, 0.7 is really good, and excellent is more like 0.8. So it's right there in the middle. And those who are neurodivergent need to know the reason why. Because we get so overloaded so quickly, we don't have extra time to hold on to other things unless we're really into it. And then, we do it for 24 hours straight. Those who are neurodivergent might have extra room for passion or for what makes our dopamine rise. But when it comes to something that we're not really interested in, we need to know exactly what we need to do so that we can avoid cognitive overload and shutdown. Otherwise, there's no working with us. When given a clear purpose for reading, readers don't have to guess at what's important. And this frees up the working memory so it doesn't get overloaded. All right, chunking hack number 3, give a visual anchor. This type of chunking is about structure, not hiding text. There are many struggling readers out there who can read the words, but their brains get overloaded trying to organize the text. So we add visual anchors to help them along. These can look like adding numbers to the sentences or the paragraphs. We can add quick notes in the margin, problem, important, example, to kind of guide them along the way. We can also draw arrows to show how ideas connect. This hack directly affects something called split attention effect. With split attention effect, learning breaks down because the brain has to bounce between two separate things. The attention is split. Like a passage on one page and the directions on the other. Yes, something as small as that can induce the split attention effect. That's another reason why how we organize our worksheets or any kind of task visually has to be very supportive, because the split attention effect can add to the cognitive load. Instead of focusing on meaning, working memory gets wasted on having to organize and search. Studies on visual signaling and cueing, such as labels or arrows or any of those type of things, or numbers, have shown to have moderate to large gains in comprehension, because we're taking a lot of the pressure off of the working memory and cognitive load. The brain doesn't have to guess how things fit together. Visual anchors help because it lets the brain focus on meaning, not organization. This is one of the reasons why a lot of us will underline or will circle or put little stars. That's when we personally do the visual anchoring. But as an educator, you can set up the page to be a little more visually appealing and not so hard on the cognitive overload. Now, there are many different ways to chunk an assignment or a reading of that nature. These are just the first 3 that I've kind of talked about. But I will say controlling the time and also giving a purpose and the organization are typically the cornerstone of most great chunking strategies. And when you match a strategy to what the learner needs, the effort finally pays off. And this is not just in chunking, this is in everything. Remember, data should drive us. If we see something going on and we see what exactly a student's struggling with, we need to create strategies or lean on strategies that specifically support those learners. Otherwise, we're just spinning our wheels in the mud. Chunking isn't lowering expectations because you're still having them do it. You're just doing it one step at a time so you don't overload the brain and the working memory. It's how we make things doable so effort actually really works. Imagine putting so much effort into something and it just not getting you anywhere. that can be extremely frustrating, which is where a lot of our anger and our outbursts and our downright refusals come from. And remember, every strategy we choose has to support the dignity of the learner, no matter the age, whether you're 6, 16, 36, 66, or 106. If you've experienced or seen struggling readers shut down or show refusal, go ahead and talk about it down in the comments. I would love to unpack some of those and cover those scenarios in future videos. If this helps you think about chunking or reading instruction in general differently, please remember to subscribe down below so you don't miss the next breakdown. Also, down below, I have a free resource for parents and for teachers to work with struggling readers. It's called Struggles to Strengths, and it can help guide conversations and how we can motivate our even most reluctant readers. And remember, when we support time, clarity, and organization, anything can happen. So go ahead, crack the code, and unlock the reader.